Okay, now we're moving on to our next technique off the headquarters position. This is going to be a very dynamic attack where we're looking to take the head and not only pass but go straight to the finish, setting it up while we're still inside the guard. Okay, so let's go back to our headquarters position. All right, putting him down, we're coming inside. Okay, and just so you guys understand, anytime he looks to grab my ankle, that's always going to be the time where I'm going to want to drive my shin over his thigh, okay? If he is controlling my leg, it's going to be much harder for me to X-pass and cross knee. But, we're already working from this variation of sitting our shin over the thigh. And if he's holding my ankle, that's going to be where I'm going to want to go. And as I'm coming down on that, it's going to smash his arm to the point where he's going to want to let go of my ankle, and I'll be able to get my knee all the way down to the mat, okay? So, anytime they're holding your ankle, your mind should always be to go to that side, okay? And just continue to drive their knee down and start to smash their arm with your shin until they look to pull their arm out, okay? And now we're in this established position here where we've already been working from, okay? So we've already talked about what to do with this leg, if we can get past it and come in. If it's in front of us and keeping distance, then we're going to pass it the other way and start to drop into the side smash, okay? Another thing we can do is get really aggressive for the head, okay, and start doing some head hunting in here, all right? So when I'm in here, I'm going to be looking to get control of his wrist with my left hand, okay? My left leg is up. I want to get hold of this wrist with my left hand. And basically what I'm doing is I'm opening up a path for me to bring my right arm, okay? If this hand is in the way, I'm not going to be able to get in there, okay? So I want to open this space, and I'm going to look to kind of dive forward a little bit here and immediately wrap around his head and doing once again with our thumb pad going right under his chin, okay? So we're going to go kind of chin hunting there and look to get that control right away, okay? So I'm here, I get control of that wrist, we're moving around. I'm going to just dive forward, circle my arm around his head and get control of his chin, okay? And from here I'm going to lean forward a little bit and start to use my head control to help me pass, all right? So let's turn to this side. So I'm all the way in. I get control of that wrist. I shoot my arm forward, and I have control of his head, okay? Now here, you see how I'm kind of resting on my shoulder, and I'm forward enough to where his hook isn't very strong anymore. It's hard for him to keep hold of my leg now, okay? And I want to pass my leg all the way over it, past his leg, and I'm going to drop my shin on top of his arm on this other side, okay? So, let's try. Once again, we drop in. We get control of the wrist. We have an open space for us to shoot forward. And look how I'm kind of resting here on my shoulder, all right? Really hard for him to, keep me from just stepping past his leg. And I'm going to drop my shin down on top of his arm, okay? So now he has no way to defend my second hand. Now my second hand is going to come in and grab the outside of my right hand. All right, very similar to how we worked before. This thumb pad is under his chin. I'm gripping the outside of my hand, and I'm going to pull my arm all the way through around his neck so I can put my elbow onto the mat, okay? So this one arm is going to have his whole neck for the guillotine finish. So I'm here. My second hand comes in. I'm going to pull this through so I can bring my elbow to the mat kind of above his collarbone. And then from here, I'm going to add my squeeze. And this is a very tight guillotine, okay, that we're setting up from our headquarters position, all right? So we come in, we drive our shin down. From here, we start to look for the wrist control. We have a free path here to wrap his head. So I'm going to bring this arm forward and dive at the same time. My thumb pad's right under his chin. It's really hard for him to maintain control of my leg. And I'm going to drop my shin right on his arm, so there's no way he can stop my second hand from coming in and gripping my first hand. Now I'm going to pull this, and you see how I kind of twist my body a little bit so I can bring my elbow down. From here, I add my squeeze. I have a really, really tight guillotine, okay? One more time, let's go back to the front. put him down, come in, sit on top of the thigh, get that wrist control, dive, come forward. Now, you see you can't follow my leg. Drop the shin over the arm, bring the elbow over, add the squeeze, there's your guillotine. This is one of my favorite things to do from the headquarters, to go hunting for that head, all right? Because, you know, I'm not just looking to pass, but I'm always looking for the submission. And there's a direct way to get the submission that we're setting up while we're still technically inside the guard. This is one of my favorite attacks. You'll see my first black belt, Justin Rader, use this a lot. You know, with his competition game for no-gi, he's been very successful with it. And, you know, I think this is a very dynamic and powerful attack that you're going to want to bring into your game from the headquarters.